Wait, my shirt so I'm not blending in with my backgrounds. 1 second. I'm ready now. It's all good? It's all good. Well, hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I want to thank you guys for sticking around. And I want to welcome all my new subscribers. I have been gaining since I've been on this little short break or whatever. Thumbs up if you remember this background. Let's just get right into this video. This is where the story gets juicy. Okay, so if you guys have not watched my first roommate horror story, well, not my first one, my last one that I had just posted, you are going to want to click here to watch it before you continue watching this video, because I guarantee you, if you have not watched that, you will not understand what is going on here. Okay, so as I mentioned before, with the whole situation in my other dorm, I had moved out. I moved across the street into a whole different building and a whole new room away from all the mess that was going on. So I was settling into my apartment, and about 4 or 5 weeks later, Shelley moves in. We were told prior before that we could never ever live together as long as we were on campus, and I still didn't understand how it happened, how she was able to move in. It just left me very confused. Of course, I didn't bring it to the attention of housing because she was leaving the very next day, and I wasn't sure if I was staying at school or not for the following semester. So she had left for the whole entire summer. But before that, there was already an incident before the girl was even there. She wasn't even there for 12 hours, not even 6 hours, not even 4 hours before the first incident happened. And it wasn't with me, it was with my other roommate. Let me just tell you guys how this apartment was laid out. It was 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. So it was 2 bedrooms on one side with the bathroom, and then 2 bedrooms on the other side with the bathroom. I had lived on this side, and both the rooms were occupied. So of course she didn't move on that side. And then it was only 1 room occupied on this side. I have up 2 fingers because one of the fingers represents a bathroom. And when Shelley moved in, she moved into that empty room. So if you have your own bathroom, your bathroom is obviously going to be however you want it, because you don't share with anyone. So Jelly's moving her stuff in. My roommate tells her, you know, when I get off of work, I will come and I will clean the bathroom and move stuff around so you can move your stuff in. And Jelly says, it's no problem, I'll clean it, blase blase. Now mind you, while Jelly is moving her stuff in, she has mutual friends that are both her friends and my roommate's friends helping her move in. And while she's cleaning, she is bad mouthing the girl and basically complaining about cleaning the bathroom. Mind you, I'm not the person to run and back and forth in between people and tell them what someone else says, because 9 times out of 10 it starts drama, or nobody believes you, or it just turns into something else and then you're in the middle of it. So I stayed out of that whole entire thing. But because there were mutual friends there, the mutual friend had told my roommate, and my roommate just asked me to confirm, and I did. I wasn't gonna lie and be like, oh, I don't know. So later on that night, my roommate had confronted Shelley and told her, you know, it's not cool. I don't really know what the argument really was about because I was asleep. I wasn't there. I wasn't present for it. But basically they had that little spat, and then the next day Shelley had left to go home. Am I in focus? Okay, so what's the last thing I said? So yeah, they had that little thing, and then she had went home for the rest of the summer. Mind you, when this girl moved in, she had also put stuff in the refrigerator that were perishables that she had previously had from the old apartment. So this wasn't like brand new stuff. This was old stuff that the expiration dates was very soon approaching. Lost my train of thought. That the expiration dates were coming up soon. So the whole entire summer, or halfway through the summer, this stuff just sat in the fridge because I wasn't there most of the time. I did do summer classes and stuff, but I was working and I was going back and forth between home. So I really ate out a lot, or I just had stuff from home. But there was one particular day I just sat and I cleaned the whole apartment, and I was cleaning out the fridge, and most of the stuff was like 2-3 weeks old. So I went ahead and tossed it out because I wasn't going to text this girl telling her that, you know, your stuff's old. Because when I lived with her, if anything was a day over the expiration, she was already tossing it out. So I didn't think it would be a problem. The day of move-in comes. So this is the day that she's coming back. I know that she is coming back because I remember her saying when she left that the only reason that they let her move in early was because she wasn't coming back until the day before classes started, which I don't understand because the move-in day was the day before classes started, but there were over hundreds of people who were moving in that same day. So anyway, the day of moving, I'm not there. I'm at work, working hard, getting my moolah, because that's what I do. And apparently she was in the apartment that morning and she had moved some stuff out. I wasn't aware of that until I came back, and I was informed that she would be moving out. And I said, thank God, don't have to deal with this girl. She just get her stuff and she can leave and I can be happy. Out of sight, out of mind, right? So that night I had went out with my new roommate that I was sharing my side of the apartment with, and an old friend of mine who we went to the same college. Well, we were going to the same college. We go to the same college. That we were friends from middle school, and we hung out in her room downstairs until some time in like the middle of the night or whatever, just catching up and stuff. So the next day I go to work, I come back to my apartment, and I have an email from housing. This is where the story gets juicy. Okay? So I had this email from housing telling me that I was involved in an incident the night before, and it gave me the time. It was like at 11:37 p.m. in the residence hall. You were violating several rules. It has been brought to our attention that you've been breaking housing rules, blase blase, and you need to have a meeting on this day with us. And I was very, very confused because since they gave me the exact time, I knew exactly where I was, and I knew that I didn't do anything because I wasn't even on campus. Like I said, we had went out to the stores and then we went back to my friend's room. So at the time that they told me that the incident had occurred, I wasn't even on campus. And even when I came back to campus, I still wasn't even around to really do anything. So I emailed housing back. I told them that this is probably a mistake. I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything all summer, not even yesterday. I gave them my whereabouts. And yeah, I told them it was a mistake. It couldn't have been me. So I got an email back saying, yes, it is you. This was reported last night. And then I went into panic mode, because not really panic mode. I was just very curious as to what somebody said I could have done. So I asked for a meeting that same day because I didn't want to go around a whole week without knowing what I had possibly done. So they couldn't do that. So I had a meeting like the next day or two or so. So I go to this meeting, I sit down or whatever, and housing says,
well, by your email you seem very confused and you don't know what's going on.
Yes.
Okay, so Shelley reported.
What? You haven't been on campus for 24 motherfucking hours and you reporting shit? Nigga, what the fuck did I do?
It's been brought to our attention that you have been harassing Shelley. You have been threatening her. You have broken into her room and vandalized everything. You've stolen stuff from her. You have been bullying her via the internet, Snapchat, text messages, phone calls.
What? And while they are telling me all this, I'm literally sitting there with like the biggest grin on my face, not even getting infuriated, but I was getting to that point, because you ever know when somebody is really calm but you know that they should be angry? Oh boo, your girl was at this point. And I let housing continually tell me what these allegations were against me, okay? So after they finished saying whatever they needed to say, I told them, I said about the food that she's claiming that was eaten, it was thrown in the garbage. How could I break into someone's room if they are the only person with the key? And even if I did break into her room, it would be very, very noticeable, because you basically, the locks in that college and the dorm rooms are so crazy. Like, we had an empty bedroom the whole entire first semester, and I promise you, my roommates tried every which way to try and open up the door. And this is when I was living with Jelly. Tried every single way to open that door, and it would not open no matter what. Literally. Okay? So I told her, I showed proof that I have had not communication with this girl. I gave them my stuff via Snapchat. I gave them the YouTube link of the video, the first video that I talked about her. And yeah, I just gave them all this stuff, and she asked me, you know, where did it stem from? And I told them where it stemmed from the first incident that she never got over. And I said, you know, I've had a drama-free life for the past few months. And I said, I think it's just ironic how she just comes back to campus, and how within less than 24 hours, there's already an incident. I said, when she came back to the room, I wasn't even there. I wasn't present both times that she was there, because she was there in the morning and then she came back at night. I was there for neither one of those presentations. And yeah, they told me that, you know, the police were in my room that night, that there was a report filed against me, and that I need to figure out what it was. It was harassment charges and blase. And I'm like there was literally no proof of anything. So I was told that I was supposed to be contacted that night that it happened, but it was like 4 or 5 days later, after the incident occurred, that I was hearing about this against me. So I went over to the police department. I asked the officer for the report and blase, gave them my first and last name, and they pulled it up. I'm sitting there with the officer, and he's reading the report, and he just has this very confused look on his face, and he starts laughing. He says to me, I wouldn't even worry about this. This is like a BS report. But he said the actual word. That it doesn't make sense. I know this campus. And he says, as far as he even said the same thing as me. He was like, it is impossible to break into these rooms. He said, we can't even get into them. This is coming from a police officer. He says, we need the key to get in. So basically, that whole report was thrown out. No charges were filed against your girl, because nothing happened. And I told him the entire thing. I showed him Snapchat, because I actually have proof that the last message that was sent was from her, and it was in May. So yeah, mind you, this whole entire summer I didn't have communication with her. I wasn't watching this girl on Snapchat. I didn't like anything on Instagram, anything on Facebook, anything of this sort, because this girl was out of sight, out of mind. And I'm not one of those people to sit there and take my time to go to somebody's username and hit block or delete. I don't have time for it. You have an issue with me, you can do that on your end, but it is not that deep. You are not that you're not like a big concern for me to sit there and go do something like that. Even people that I'm not friends with now, they still have me on social media, because I'm not the type of person to sit there typing your name and go through. No, if it's that deep for you to still see me and still look at me, you fix the problem, because I'll go over it like it's a fucking dust, like it's nothing. So anyway, housing tells me that within a week they will have if I am found guilty of these charges or not. And after watching my videos, they said it wasn't enough to determine that it was this person that I was talking about, because I didn't give any details of how the person looks. I didn't mention their name. There was no pictures. There has never even been any picture of anybody that I ever lived with on any social media platform at all. And yeah, it has. I've never. So you guys, like, if this girl was standing right in front of your face right now, you wouldn't even know, because how would you know? How would you know? You don't even know what she looks like. You don't know if she's purple or green or orange or red. You don't know. You don't even know that. So anyway, week later. Oh, I already told you guys, they didn't find me guilty of that, but they said that, you know, we're gonna find you guilty of using her stuff in the flat tummy tea video. They was like, I used her measuring cup, and I said, boop boop. I wrote my own letter, and I basically said that this girl isn't the only person in the world that owns a measuring cup. I have videos on my channel of me using a measuring cup, and that there are no distinctive marks that says that this is Jelly's measuring cup. I said, now you guys are reaching. You're trying to reach for something to get me in trouble. So after that, I sent my email, my rebuttal to that. Everything was gone. I did not get in trouble. Did not get kicked out of school. Didn't get kicked out of housing. Nothing of the sort happened to me. And it was just like, it was just so much of a headache to deal with, because to go as far as try to get me in trouble was crazy. And I'm gonna say it anyway. If I really wanted to be petty, because now all this stuff is just coming back. If I really wanted to be petty, I was told by school officials, officers, that if I wanted to, I could file harassment charges against her, falsifying a police report and all this stuff, because basically she lied to get me in trouble, taking other people's time to try and investigate something that would never ever was. And till this day, I still could go forth with it if I really wanted to, but I'm not that type of person. I don't have time for it. I really don't give a shit. Like, I don't have time for it. I only have time for getting money, and being petty doesn't pay my bills. I mean, if petty could pay my bills, then I would be petty all day long. But I don't have time to deal with extra nonsense, because I'm worried about me, and I'm worried about doing better. Yeah, people are very childish, and I don't have time for it. Like, bitch, I'm grown. I'm too grown for that. Even to this day, like, I literally got a text message last week that this girl is still talking about me, and I'm not even on campus. And it just fascinates me that even when I'm not worried about people, I've never been worried about anybody. And even when I'm out of sight and out of mind, I'm always the trending topic for somebody. Like, hello. Huh. But anyway, yeah, this girl tried to get me kicked out of school. But it didn't happen, boo. It ain't happen. I ain't get in trouble neither. So anyway, that is all for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.